Hello everyone, and welcome back to the next session on structures. So far, we have seen the declaration and definition of a structure. We have seen how to declare structure variables and also how to access the same clubbed with couple of small programs. In this particular video, we are going to have a look at structure initialization, structure type and variable, how it can be combined. We'll also have a look at how the structure variables can be actually assigned to another variable along with nesting of structures. And we will wind out this particular video with the last point, what is called as accessing structures through pointers. Now let us have a look at structure initialization. Like variable of any other data type, the structure variable can also be initialized during compilation time. Now, if you try to recollect your primitive data types, we have seen how the value of a particular variable can be initialized. Now, int a, we have seen it is actually called as a declaration statement. And then when you say int a equal to 5, you are actually initializing it. So, the way how initialization can be done at primary data type level, C allows the programmer to actually do the same at the structures level. Have a look at the example that is there in front of you. I have this particular structure. The name of the structure is player, which has got two member elements, that is name, which is nothing but a character array, and age, which is nothing but integer. And here I have p1, which is actually the structure variable which belongs to tag or structure name as player, and then it is initialized to these two components, nick and 30. So this is what you mean initialization of a structure variable during compilation time. Now let us see how actually this works when we code this in our online compiler. I have already coded it for you. So this is what is my initialization, nick and 30. And let us see the output of this in line number 9 and 10. So there's the output. We get name equal to nick and age equal to 30, right? So basically what happens, the first member element will be having this particular word associated with that, and hence the output p1 dot name will be nick. And the second one will be a second member element, which is age, will have 30 as the value, and hence line number 10 will give you the output p1 dot age as 30. So that is what you mean to say that structure variable can also be initialized at compilation time. Now let us proceed further and look at some extremely important points about structures, out of which the first one is structure type and variable can be combined. Okay, structure type and variable can be combined, right? So let me I have the same example with me. Let me take you back to my online editor. Now this is what it is, right? So I have my structure type and variable, right? So this is my structure type already, and you know that the output of this is p1 dot name will give you nick and p1 dot age will give you 30, right? Now what you are trying to do here is structure type, right? This is the structure type and this is the structure variable. This can be combined, right? Now it is similar to the one which we have seen earlier. Like this, you have a declaration statement called as int a, and then you have a assignment statement called as a equal to 5, and then you can club both this line number 12 and 13 and you can say int a equal to 5, right? So this is the whole idea even here also, where we say that structure type and variable can be combined. So this, anyhow you have seen the output of this. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to combine the type and the variable, and this will be written exactly after the closing curly braces of your structure, right? So this is what is called as structure type and variable that can be combined, right? So let us run the program. Yeah, so here you are getting the output Nick and 30. Okay, so this is what is called as line number 4 to 7, that structure type and variable are combined. Okay, now let us see the next aspect of it, what is called as value of the structure variable can be assigned to another. Right, now just have a look at the same example. So I have the example of player. Now when you look at this particular line, we have two structure variables called as P2 and P1. Okay, I have two structure variables called as P2 and P1, and then I have P1 equal to Nick and 30. Okay, now by looking at this particular statement, I can say P1 dot name is Nick and P1 dot age is 30. But P2 dot name does not holds good with respect to Nick, right? This is because if you try to recollect, I have a statement int a comma b equal to 5. Now this particular statement int a comma b equal to 5 will assign 5 only to variable b and not to variable a. You know this very well. Similarly, what happens here is p1 dot name is Nick and p1 dot age is 30. Right? Now what you can do is you can have this particular assignment statement called as p2 equal to p1. Now what's the meaning of this? See, P2 and P1 both belong to the same structure called as player. And when this happens, every individual member element associated with P1 will be copied to the corresponding member element of P2. That means P1 dot name is Nick. By the help of this statement, P2 dot name also becomes Nick. P1 dot age is equal to 30, and because of this statement, P2 dot age also becomes 30. Okay, let us have a look at it with the help of a code so that things becomes much more easier and simpler for us. So let me revert back to the old. So I have my struct player P2 comma P1. Okay, so now here I can just say first player name is equal to, right, and then I can say first player age equal to, right. So I just say P2 equal to P1, right, and then what I'll do is I'll copy line number 9 and 10 so that I can save time in terms of editing it. So I can just say second player name is nothing but P2 dot name and second player age is P2 dot age. Okay, so let me help you to recollect. P1 dot name will be Nick and P1 dot age will be 30, right? And because of this line number 11, P2 equal to P1, right, the member elements associated with P1 will get copied to the corresponding member elements associated with P2. Okay, so let us run the program. Yeah, have a look at it. First player name is Nick, first player age is 30, and because of that P2 equal to P1, we got this output as well, which says second player name is Nick and second player age is 30. Okay, so that is what you mean to say that structure variable can be assigned to one another, provided the structure variables belong to the same structure, belong to the same tag. And here you have seen that P2 and P1 actually belong to same tag called as player. Okay. Now let us move on to the next one, what is called as nesting of structures. Now here what happens is you will have two structures. Now my first structure is part. Okay. Now this particular structure part has got two member elements. One is type and one is quantity. And I have another structure whose name is vehicle, right? And this particular structure has got two member elements. One is Maruti, which is a character array, and the other one is struct part bolt, which is actually a structure. So the vehicle structure has got one of the member element as a structure itself. Okay. Now what I'm going to do is I have this particular statement called as struct vehicle v, right? Now what does this statement says? This statement says that v is a structure variable of vehicle data, vehicle structure. Okay. I can say in simple terms, v is a structure variable belonging to structure vehicle. Now let me access the member element through this structure variable v, right? Now since v belongs to vehicle, I have access to these two member elements. So let me straight away write something like v dot Maruti, right? So this is a perfectly accepted statement because the structure variable v and the member element Maruti both belongs to the structure tag called as vehicle. So there's nothing great about it, right? Now, if I make an attempt to say v dot type, right? Now this will give me an error because v is a structure variable belonging to vehicle and a type is a member element belonging to part, and hence this concept of accessing the member element using structure variable will not work for simple reason the structure variable, that is v in this case, and the member element type in this case both belong to different structures. V belongs to vehicle and type belongs to part. Similarly, I cannot also say v dot quantity, that is v dot qty. I cannot say for the same reason, right? One belongs to vehicle and the other one belongs to part, right? Now, what is actually this nesting of structure? Nesting of structure means you access the member element of one structure with the help of the structure variable belonging to altogether a different structure. That means what? With the help of this v, which belongs to vehicle, you should access these member elements. And if you are able to do that, that is actually called as nesting of structure. Now, in order to have that particular feature, I will have this statement actually sort of a structure variable statement in vehicle, and I say struct part bolt. Now the interpretation of this statement is struct is a keyword, part is a structure name, and bolt, right? Listen carefully, for this particular line bolt will act as a structure variable. Understand? Bolt will act as a structure variable, and when bolt acts as a structure variable, it actually acts as structure variable to part. That means bolt will have access to all the member elements to which part belongs to, right? So I have type and I have quantity. So for both these member elements, the variable bolt will have access, right? Through structure variable v, because v belongs to vehicle and here bolt is embedded in the vehicle. And hence what happens? The nesting of structure will make use of two dot operators. I repeat once again, the nesting of structure makes use of two dot operators like this. V dot bolt dot quantity equal to 300, right? So V is a structure variable of vehicle data type, and hence it can access these two. It is accessing the member element called as bolt, which in turn acts as a structure variable for part. And in part, you have two member elements, type and quantity, and hence you say qty is equal to 300. Okay, now let us see whether this really works or not. So as usual, I'll just copy it in my editor. Okay, so I have this. And here what I do is I just print the value v dot bolt dot quantity. Okay, and let me run the program for you. Yeah, so I'm getting the output as 300, and that is what is your line number 13 all about. V dot bolt dot quantity equal to 300, right? So that is how basically nesting of structure takes place in C programming language. Now let us come to the last aspect of it, what is called as how to basically go about accessing structures through pointers. Now, to access structure elements through structure variable, we have used dot operator, right, which we have already seen, and we have made a statement that whenever we make use of dot operator, the on the left hand side of the dot operator you'll always have a structure variable, and on the right hand side you'll always have a member element. Now here the scenario is totally different. We are not going to access the structure elements with the help of dot operator, sorry. On the other hand, we are going to access through pointers, right? And whenever we want to access the structure elements through pointers, we'll end up making use of arrow operator, right? So let us have a example. I'll just straight away take this example and copy it in my editor. Okay, so of course I have to do some small changes. So this whenever I copy, there is a problem with this double quotes, so I have to get rid of that as well. All right, so let us see the significance of this code. I have a structure called as book, which has got two member elements. One is name, which is a character array, and number, which is a integer. Now look at line number 8. I have structure variable called as b1, which belongs to structure tag called as book. And here I have two parameters. So Unix is nothing but b1.name, and 101 is nothing but b1.number. Now that is not so important because we have already seen. Now if I have this statement called as struct book star b, which tells that b is a pointer variable which belongs to structure book. I repeat, b is a pointer variable which belongs to structure book. And this line number 10 will definitely give me the output as Unix and 101, because b1.name is Unix and b1.number is 101. Now I have this b as a pointer variable. Now watch out carefully. If b was not a pointer variable, correct? If b was not a pointer variable and it would have been like this, then I can very well simply say b is equal to b1. And after I say b is equal to b1, I can print the value of the member elements with structure variable b by telling b.name and b.number, same as b1. But the point is, b is not an ordinary structure variable, it is a pointer variable. And since it is a pointer variable, it becomes extremely important for me as a programmer to pass the base address. Okay, to pass the base address. Once I pass the base address, I will get access to these two member elements called as name and number. And then whatever is associated with B1, right, will get copied to B, right? But since it is a pointer variable, the way to get the output is we will not get the output, or we cannot get the output through dot operator. And instead, we have to use an arrow operator, which is a combination of hyphen and greater than. I repeat, it's an arrow operator, which is called as pointer to structure, combination of hyphen and greater than. Please do not press the right arrow key, right? Because if you press the right arrow key, the cursor moves one character towards right. Okay, and it won't get reflected on the screen, right? So I don't think I should tell you this. So the arrow operator is a combination of hyphen and greater than. So that is what you mean to say that to access through pointers, right, we use arrow operator. Let us run the program and see the. Okay, so you have Unix 101, Unix 101. Of course, we are getting the output. Let me make it a little bit more clear. Yeah, so I have Unix 101 and Unix 101. Now this first line output Unix 101 is through dot operator because I'm trying to access the structure elements through structure variable. And this second Unix and 101, this is through the arrow operator because I'm trying to access the structure elements through pointers, right? So that is the fundamental difference in terms of accessing the structure elements. It all depends, right, whether you want to use dot operator or you want to use arrow operator. Okay, if it is through structure variable, you can use the dot operator. Okay, and if it is through pointers, you have to use arrow operator, which is nothing but a combination of hyphen and greater than.